Should I stand on the box or no?
Hi, everybody. Welcome to WCAX. This is our live desk streaming show. This is an important one for a lot of new parents out there, parents of little ones, infants, babies,
Right.
whatever you want to call them. But it has to do with SUIDs. So I'm going to let you explain the acronym
Sure.
SUIDs and especially why it's important to the safety of babies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's sudden, unexpected infant death.
Yeah.
And that can happen for a variety of reasons. It can be an infant strangles, they choke on something, or it could just be completely unexplained, which is
Yeah.
kind of where that acronym comes from. There are a lot of different reasons why that could happen, some of them unknown. But the main factor that we're talking about here is what can happen when you're sleeping unsafely.
Yeah, absolutely. And the big thing again is the sleeping aspect. And I know a lot of people, different financial situations. Those cribs, the sleepers, pretty expensive. But you talk to someone with the Vermont Health Department,
Yeah.
and what was some of the guidance that they had as far as when you're going to bed, you're putting the kid to bed, some of the safe sleep practices.
Absolutely. So
Yeah.
a couple things there. The report that the health department just put
Yeah.
out is examining how SUIDs can occur. They found that unsafe sleep methods are one of the main factors that can lead to SUID. So what they recommend is kind of what the rest of the country follows with pediatric
Yeah.
tips and stuff, but it's making sure that your child is sleeping on their back in a separate space. So really emphasizing not co-sleeping, not
Yeah.
sleeping in the same area as your child, using a crib, a bassinet, or a play area with a firm mattress and a fitted sheet. No excess blankets in there, no
Yeah.
toys, no stuffed animals, nothing
kinda-
that they could roll onto
Yeah.
or choke on or whatever. And then breastfeeding if possible, and then no smoking.
Yeah.
So those are the main tips that they recommend. But as you mentioned, one of the main factors here is economics.
Yeah.
And what they found in this report is that if parents are in a financial crunch, it's a lot harder for them to follow
do
these
those
tips.
things, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's I think it's good guidance, especially for a lot of first-time parents. I've friends now who are young moms.
Yeah.
And the thing is it's like it's a whole lot at all at
Totally.
once. So it's
Yeah.
definitely good to hear those tips.
Yeah, absolutely. You might
Yeah.
not know, and the financial crunch piece that
Yeah.
can be like you can't afford a crib, but it can also be like you have a crib, but you're really tired from work, and the only way that your baby stops crying is if you're
You hold
holding them, and then
Yeah.
you're tired and you fall asleep on a couch.
Yeah.
So all of those little intricacies that can happen, and it's important to emphasize
Yeah.
no one wants this to happen. No
Yeah.
one's no one's trying to be negligent, but it can happen even if you
Yeah.
are doing your very best. That's where the sleep deprivation thing comes in if you're a new parent. So yeah.
Yeah.
So I think the next step here, if you're going to touch on that, yeah.
Yeah, no, I think what's next?
Yeah. So in this report, they are recommending that the legislation this session consider paid family leave.
Yeah.
Universal nurse visits, to have a nurse come to your home and be able to tend to your baby so you can actually get some sleep, and then some financial help too, so that you can afford all of the different care required to adequately take care of your child, but then also yourself, to make sure that you're in the right headspace to be doing that.
Absolutely. I think it's one of
Yeah.
those things we'll obviously be keeping an eye on as the session goes on.
Certainly.
And again, as far as just, these tips, it's always great to just brush up on these things.
Exactly,
Again,
yeah.
it's always the little thing,
Yeah.
that can lead to bad stuff. So we'll take a look at that in your pack there.
Sure.
And, but thanks for checking in.
You bet. Thanks for having me. The early days of new parenthood aren't for the weak. Stress, fear, and exhaustion, all things Vermont Doula Company in South Burlington sees among clients.
Suddenly you're living your life in these very small increments of time with very little sleep.
Perizzo says it makes a perfect storm for risky rest, like falling asleep with your baby on the couch or leaving them to sleep in a swing.
With tired, stressed parents, is very easy to fall into unsafe sleep.
The American Academy of Pediatrics recommends these methods for safe sleeping to avoid accidental injury, suffocation, strangulation, or entrapment. And safe sleep can save lives. Vermont sees 5 or 6 sudden unexpected infant deaths, or SUIDs, annually, and unsafe sleep is a contributing factor. Experts say infants with parents in a financial crunch are especially susceptible.
It's hard to do for any family. It's really hard to do if you're under economic stress, whether it's space, whether it's having to go back to work, whether it's living in a crowded living environment. All of that makes it more challenging.
Dr. Bell, with the state's Child Fatality Review Team, just released a report on SUID risk in Vermont. The team says paid family medical leave, financial assistance, and universal nurse home visits could prevent tragedy.
We want to, as we educate families, also be empathetic, understand what the barriers are, and make recommendations that can make it easier for families to follow those guidelines.
Parizeau always encourages parents to follow safe sleep guidelines, but if they can't, she has advice like staying sober and on a safe surface if you do choose to co-sleep.
Ultimately, parents are still going to sleep with their babies. How can we make it safer for those babies?
Again, just some good things to brush up on. It's Pat from Sophia Thomas. You can see the whole thing on WCAX.com. Shifting gears here, Peter, we are, I guess, right before some snow.
Yeah,
today.
we're right in front of a few things here.
Yeah.
Some snow and some colder temps heading our way. And then some more snow. So we got a little bit of a lot of things to talk about, actually. Here's where we're starting off the day. Most of us back into the 20s at this point. And really this afternoon, a lot of us going to be in the low to mid 30s here for daytime highs. So it is a pretty mild day out there. Satellite radar showing that we are scanning things primarily dry. Maybe a few light snow showers out across New York's North Country. Really, for the most part, though, those won't really do too much to impact any plans here through the day today. And I think most of us are generally going to talk about a mixture of sunshine and clouds out there. Temperatures here, as I mentioned, in the low to mid 30s here as we head towards this afternoon. It does come with breezy conditions, though, especially that St. Lawrence River Valley area. You can see places like Messina at times gusting upwards of 40 to 50 miles per hour. Away from that, most of us will talk gusts between 20 and 40 miles per hour here as we head through the afternoon hours. Notice as we head towards later tonight and into the early morning hours tomorrow, the winds start to shift and actually begin to diminish just a bit here as we head through the course of the night tonight and towards daybreak tomorrow morning. That aligns with a Arctic cold front that will begin to make its arrival here as we head through the night as well. At times, there could be a few snow squalls right along that frontal line. You can kind of see a line that's well defined with some deeper shades of blue there, indicative of potentially a few snow squalls. Again, snow squalls could quickly reduce visibility to whiteout conditions, quickly put down an inch or two of snow on some area roadways. The good news is the snow showers and the snow squalls generally limited here through the overnight hours tonight before they wrap up pretty quickly as we head towards about 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. Then through the rest of your day on Tuesday, we'll talk about a mixture of sunshine and clouds out there. Temperatures here will definitely be cooler, though. In terms of how much snow we're talking about, this is really through the night tonight. Most of us talk about a trace potentially up to an inch or two. Higher amounts across New York's North Country where they could possibly pick up an additional 2 to 4. Even higher amounts for the spine of the Adirondacks, where they could possibly pick up an additional 4 to 8 here by the time we're all said and done. As I mentioned, we're cooler after the snow. Temperatures actually fall back into the teens and 20s as we head towards later this week. First layer forecast here for the rest of the day today. It's not teens or 20s out there. Really, most of us are in the 30s here come this afternoon. Partly sunny skies overhead, but again, we are breezy out at times, gusting upwards of 30 to 40 miles per hour. Tonight, notice all that cold air that starts to surge in from the north and west. Snow squalls making their arrival, snow showers, and we are getting cooler here. And then as we head through your day tomorrow, we are definitely going to be cooler out there. Most of us will talk high temperatures in the teens and 20s here for tomorrow afternoon. Partly sunny skies overhead. Again, much cooler here for your day on Tuesday. Now look at that 7-day forecast. We're cooler following that cold front tonight and into the day tomorrow. There is another chance at a few snow showers for the day Wednesday. That a part of an Alberta Clipper system that could bring a couple inches of new snow here as we head through Wednesday, basically the entirety of the day Wednesday. Thursday and Friday looking quieter, also quieter here into the first part of the weekend, but temperatures cooler, teens and 20s, overnight lows, single digits, probably just above and just below that 0 degree mark.
Yeah, Peter, I think today, last day of the freezing temperature, and, I just get out and enjoy it while I can.
Yeah, get out and enjoy today if you
Yeah.
can, and then kind of getting a bit cooler. You can still get out. It's not record-breaking cold by any means, but just bundle up.
It's 16 degrees. I gotta run today. That's what I'm gonna do. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think we're in the throes of winter. That's the best way.
Yeah, exactly. We're in January.
I don't
To
know.
be expected.
To be expected.
Yeah.
Thank you, Peter. I think it does it for us here at WCAX. Of course, Peter and I will be back in 2.5 hours.
Yep, a couple short hours at noon.
Yeah, at noon, and then you can see all of our coverage on WCX.com. And a special shout out to everybody too for the crew working on the
Oh, yes.
UVM men's soccer parade.
Absolutely.
I had like the smallest hand in that. I was just holding the camera guy. But, it was a lot of fun. It was a great turnout, and I just watched some of the broadcast.
Crew did a
this
great
morning,
job.
and it's just really really great.
Yeah.
So shout out Michael and Catherine and everybody.
Yep.
Just great job all around. So check that out.
Yeah.
Yeah, Peter, I think that does for us here. We'll see you at noon.